everybody, and welcome to this special episode of In the Box. We are here at the iconic Wembley Stadium for non-league finals day. 4 teams battling it out to be the overall winners of the FA Vase and the FA Trophy.
This is such a special day in the footballing calendar because, like Tom said there's not just one, but there are 2 pieces of silverware up for grabs today. First up, we have the FA Vase competition, and despite just shy of 1,000 clubs from across the country competing in both these competitions, our first game is a local derby between neighbours who compete in the same division in Essex. It's Romford versus Great Wakering Rovers, and after that, we have the FA Trophy final between Gateshead and Solihull Moors. Both have had fantastic seasons, finishing pretty much neck and neck in the National League.
So the sun is shining, the silverware's gleaming, and the stage is set. Over the course of today, we'll speak to fans, volunteers, and the people behind the scenes that really make this happen.
The atmosphere is building outside of Wembley Stadium. We're seeing like a sea of green and also a sea of blue and yellow. And I'm delighted to say that I have Steve alongside me now, the chairman of Romford. You've been here since 7 a.m, haven't you? You must have leapt out of bed this morning.
Yeah, I was like a child on Christmas Day, up this morning in my suit. We got up here early and I'm just going around saying hello to as many people as I can. But the atmosphere is brilliant. All week everyone keeps saying, oh, is it real? Is it real? And you look around you and it can't be any more real. And look at the weather as well.
It's the perfect day out, isn't it, to come to non-league finals day. And what makes this story so special as well is that 900 odd clubs compete in this competition. And it's you and your local neighbours who've made it to the final. What's it been like working with them ahead of the final?
It's been brilliant because we get on really, really well with Great Wakering. We've known them for years and years in the Essex Senior League. We've got players that have played for them. They've got players that have played for us. As I say, we've played each other 3 times this season. We'll be playing them again next season as well. So it's really nice to go to Wembley with a group of supporters and a club that's got the same value that we have. And it's absolutely brilliant. And I was just about to say that all the rivalry is really good, but yeah, it is. I mean, you know, you couldn't have this at some other games at the top level where you've got supporters taking photos with other team supporters, and it'll be a brilliant day out for both the clubs.
Well, even being stood here with you now, you were shaking hands with a supporter from Romford who's travelled all the way from Malaysia to be here. A Great Wakering supporter came over and shook your hand, like you say. It's a really nice, friendly rivalry atmosphere, and that almost epitomises what is so special about non-league, doesn't it?
I think so. A lot of people sort of say, oh, you know, we go to the Premier League and we watch this team and we watch that and the football's not as good, and maybe sometimes the football isn't as good, but non-league supporters are as passionate about their team as Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham supporters. Your club is your club. When we won the semi-final, I probably cried as much as the West Ham team supporters did when they won the Europa Conference, and it's our club, it's our town, and it's our day out, and the same for Great Wakering. And I just hope everyone has a fantastic day out and that it's a really good game underneath the arch here at Wembley.
I can see how much it means to you to be a part of today. Being a chairman of a non-league football club is not easy. I imagine more often than not, it's quite a thankless task, the amount of work you have to do. But how do you feel about leading the football club on such a historic day?
Oh, it's brilliant. But I must say that a guy called Colin Ewanson, who works with me, he's my vice chairman and our secretary, and he's almost like the power behind the throne, because without him, the club wouldn't exist. We've got an army of volunteers that help us on match day. We've got kit men, we've got match secretaries, and we're all supported by our wives as well. And that's really, really important, because you spend a lot of time away from home at non-league, and it's important that those people support you. We've all got our family here today. I've got 56 of my family coming up later on if I can get my boys out of the pub and what have you. But it's a real, real good family occasion. I'm really, really looking forward to it. But as you say, it's a very, very proud moment, and I'm honoured to be the chairman of Romford Football Club and always have been.
It's such a huge team effort required to run in a non-league team, and like you mentioned there, most of it is by volunteers who do it for free. So to be able to come out today and be a part of a finals day must be really rewarding, and an opportunity to recognise those. Tell us, how many people are you bringing down today? You mentioned your family, but there's a hell of a lot of supporters coming along.
We've gone from an average crowd of about 130 to the last ticket sale release we had. We'd sold just over 2,600 600 tickets. So between us and Wakering, I'm expecting there to be 6,000 fans screaming their head off as the teams run out today. And I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I'm so excited for you, for all of the clubs competing today, because I know that for many non-league clubs, this is also a bit of an opportunity to be a springboard for future success. I want you to soak up every moment of today, of course, but is there a hope that there will be a bit of a legacy to follow from being a part of a day out?
Definitely. I mean, our shirts, so we normally sell 8 to 10 replica shirts a season. We sold 100 in the first week of going through to the final. All our sponsors are already on board for next season. We've actually got sponsors coming to us now saying, can we be part of it? And people that have come along, obviously we won't get a lot, but at clubs at our level and Great Wakering's level, if you picked up another 20 or 30 supporters for next season, it makes such a difference. And as you say, both clubs are run entirely by volunteers. No one's full-time at the clubs. No one's getting paid. They all do this for the love of the club, the community, and for days like this. But we're really lucky because, as you say, there's 600 teams that didn't get to experience this, and every year there's 600 teams that don't get to experience this. And this year, we're one of an elite few with Great Wakering Rovers that are enjoying it. And as I say, to me, it's a bit like your wedding day. It will go very, very quick, but hopefully you can look back in fondness over many years to come.
If I was to ask you to pick out one thing you're most looking forward to today, what would it be? Is there anything in your mind that you've really, really been...
Yeah, I think our manager, Dan Spinks, in his first season leading the team out, he's a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's so passionate. He bought into what the club's ethos is very, very early on. He's gathered this group of players together. He's kept them together. And I think when I actually see him walk out the tunnel today in front of the team, I think I'm going to have the tissues ready again.
Have them to hand. What are your plans then? You're going to soak up the atmosphere with supporters here at Wembley Way. I'm assuming there's a seat at the Royal Box waiting for you.
There is. That'll be a new experience. I've never been in the Royal Box before. And then after that, we've got a lunch, and then we're going to go back to our ground and we're going to celebrate with the players, whatever the result, on a fantastic season for Romford.
Well, that is exactly the point, isn't it? Win or lose, you have won today by being part of this.
Yeah.
We wish you the very best of luck, and I think it's time to speak to some of your fans.
Everywhere we go, everywhere we go.
Well, the atmosphere is building out here on Wembley Way, and we've managed to bump into two fantastic individuals from Essex FA. We're both joined by Nick and Karl. Thanks for joining us on the podcast, the pair of you. What's it feel like being here at Wembley and having two clubs from Essex County FA and the relationship that you have with these clubs?
Oh, we're super, super proud. What a buzz to walk down Wembley Way knowing we've got two Essex historical clubs in the final of the FA Vase. I'm told by the statos in the office that the last time we had a finalist was 2002, I think, and it's never been done before where we've had an all-Essex final. So we couldn't be prouder of the two clubs, and more broadly, the whole National League system and all our clubs that play within it. We've had a lot of success this season, both on and off the pitch, and what a platform this gives these two clubs, and we really hope they have a great day today.
Well, all the fans have turned out in force today, as we can see already. But just thinking back to Essex, what's the mood been like there in the build-up to this and the community in Essex?
Oh, it's been really exciting, especially like last couple of weeks. I think there's been quite a bit going back and forth over social media in relation to how many tickets have been sold. And from what I've seen, I think both teams have sold quite a substantial amount. So it's been really good. And yeah, just coming in on the train this morning, really nice. People from both clubs of all ages, families, loads of really young children, full kits, green and white, blue and yellow, and lots of pink Romford away kits. Yeah, really, really nice to see today.
I mean, non-league clubs and competition is really strong in Essex. It's probably one of the strongest we have across the County FA network. But County FAs obviously don't just look after a non-league game. You have huge responsibility across grassroots, from safeguarding, coaching, the lot. But having two clubs at Wembley Stadium on a day like today, what does it mean for you as a County FA and sort of the legacy and moving forwards?
Oh, it's huge. I think we're coming to the end of our current strategy. We're about to launch a new 4-year strategy, and to have this as an event, as a platform to launch that is brilliant. As Karl said, seeing lots of kids, lots of generations, families coming up, and one of the families we spoke to on the train was the first time they've actually been to a Great Wakering game, but it was the first, this event has inspired them to get involved to come and support their local team. So what it could do for Essex football, which has grown significantly over the last 3 years, it gives us a massive platform to grow again.
Well, gents, We're in the roasting heat. You're looking very dapper. We best let you get inside and get out the sun. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Well, we are counting down until kick-off. The nerves and excitement are building, none more so than the guest that joins me now. Dave is chairman of Great Wakering Rovers, who are finalists in the FA Vase. I'm sure you've had a busy couple of weeks, but how does it feel? Today is the day that you get to watch your team walk out onto the Wembley hollowed turf.
Well, the dreams come true, I guess, today, although it's been a couple of weeks of very, very busy times. But I can't believe how much interest the Vase has created, to be truthful. But to be here now, and I went to the ground yesterday, had a nice walk around the stadium, and I just come from the dressing room with all the kit up, etc. And it's real now to see that, all their names on the shirts, which we're going to give them after the game, obviously as memorabilia. For a small village club like Great Wakering Rovers, 12 months ago, it was doom and gloom when we got relegated. And then we got a squad together, and I've been around, 43 years, this is my 43rd season, and I've had some squads before, obviously many, many players, and I can honestly say these are one of the best, if not the best, bunch of boys I've ever experienced, because they're genuinely friends on and off the pitch, and I think that togetherness has created the wins and the results that we've got to reach the pinnacle of my career, and obviously a lot of these guys, because how many pros footballers never ever get to Wembley?
Absolutely.
And these guys are going to do that from a low step 5 level.
I want to reflect on your journey in the game, because you mentioned there 43 years involved in non-league football. But let's talk about the team quickly, because they've played in every round of the competition to get to the
10
final.
rounds,
10 rounds of football.
And we was underdogs for 8 of them. And the first game we played against Basildon Town was Marcus Bowers, who was the manager of Basildon Town. Marcus, the next player of mine, was a striker for me. I've always kept in contact, and I've watched his journey as a young manager. He's only 35 now, and I've always messaged him, phoned him. He said that the future might be bright, because it might be green and white. I said, that day's come, Marcus. Would you like to be Great Wakering Rovers manager? He said, I'll be delighted. I said, let's do it through the right channel, beat your club, the chairman, etc. So it's again a journey that we beat them 5-2 in that round. He cup-tied himself.
Cup-tied himself?
Coming as a sub. He's injured actually at the moment, but he could have been a sub today at least.
I would have loved that. The gaffer puts himself on at Wembley.
So that's another part of the journey, really.
But these stories, they don't happen in any other part of the football pyramid than the non-league pyramid.
No, non-league is a bit special.
And it's so special, isn't it? What do you think makes it special?
Because I think people are doing it for the right reasons. I'm not saying pros, it's their job, isn't it? These lads are giving Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for just expenses at our level. And, it's a massive commitment, especially the lads that are married with younger children, etc. But, that's what they want to do. And so I've experienced it now for 43 years, and, it's been a fabulous journey for me, to be truthful.
Now, I can look on the accreditation around your neck, and you've got pretty much every bit of access all areas, because a chairman has to do so much. And we're here today with the podcast to celebrate the non-league game. Tell us about the sort of roles from the most abstract things that you have to do as a chairman to make sure the team is ready for today's I suppose you're sorting out the team coach, sponsors, shirts. It's a huge opportunity for a football club.
There's very little help, unfortunately, at non-league level with committed. They're all getting the same age as me. I sorted the coach out at the hotel with Marcus, the manager. I wanted them to come here. I've stayed here before, and I want to try and get the best for them. At the kit, sorted the kit out. I've had the kit in my garage for the last 5 days. I had to load that up into another van to get to the coach when we picked up at Rayleigh. There's so much to do, and very, very few volunteers today. That's the problem.
It's such an exciting part of the football pyramid as well. So what words of encouragement would you give to people watching this to volunteer and to get involved in the game? Because it is so rewarding.
We've got a new lad coming today who's about 35-ish. He's been doing some scouting for us, and he's our coach's brother-in-law. And I said to him, why don't you come on the day, be the kit man, and learn and show. Let us show you what it's all about. I said, that'll take the pressure off of me and the management team. And I said, what a day to come. Wembley, couldn't believe it. So I said, you can come to the hotel, you have a tracksuit, and you'll be at Wembley. And I said, you've done a great job spying on the opposition for us, scouting. I said, why don't you come on the other side? Now, it'd be interesting today, although it's Wembley, he's going to enjoy it, whether he wants to come back. does he want to come on a rainy
There's
night
some really-
on a league game?
Exactly
You
that.
know,
And there's
when
some
you've got
really good bits of
150 people.
advice there, isn't there, in terms of identifying people
Yes.
and approaching them to come on
Yes.
board, rewarding them, making them
Yeah.
feel part of the football
Yeah.
club, because it
Yeah.
is such a wonderful thing.
Yep.
Can I ask you quickly, you mentioned about, the business side of it, and being a chairman, you're a custodian, you're a
It's a-
guardian of the
it's a
football
business,
club.
isn't
It is a business. And has it been lucrative making it to this stage?
Yes.
Are you hoping it will help you kind of build
Massively.
that sustainability? Tell us a bit more.
Massively, because we can do things really that we wouldn't normally want to do, but we need things done around the ground. Like the bar refurbished, and maybe new tables, no chairs, etc. There's lots of things can be done, and it has been very lucrative. And if we win today, obviously 30,000. If we lose, it's still 15.
It's good, isn't
And
it?
we've already earned about 18,000 from prize money, plus the gates, home and away, plus the bar, the kitchen. Everything's really. It's been a fabulous 10 rounds, if you like.
On a personal note for you, what moment are you looking forward to most from being a part of non-league finals day?
Today, see the team run out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I hope to be on the pitch. That's why I got this badge.
I was going to say, where are you going to be watching?
When I'm in the roll box.
Oh, very
because
nice.
I've got some guests that I've invited, our local council and other friends of mine. But I will be doing the round. So I can apparently go where I like.
Brilliant. Well, look, we won't hold you up any longer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you, the committee, and all the players.
Thank you.
Like most typical non-league football clubs, it's not just about the first team that plays at the highest level, but it's about the younger teams in the community as well. So we're now joined by John, the welfare officer and the manager of this lot behind us, our great Wakering Rovers. John, what's it like to actually be here today?
Oh, it's an unbelievable achievement for the club. Dave, Marcus and the boys, we get 50 fans a week at the games. We joined 2 years ago and we probably get as many as the first team, if we're honest. But the run's been unbelievable. The boys have been ball boys. Most of the games have been really welcomed. A couple of pitch invasions after the quarterfinals and then the semi-final. I think it went on for nearly 2 hours, the pitch invasion. It was unbelievable. It's been a great run, great experience for the boys. Their next journey will be senior football, so they've been really taken under the wing of the club, and it's been a great experience so far.
And you can see, obviously, all being in the club colours and that, the identity flows from the first team all the way down into the players here. I'd recommend not trying a pitch invasion today, though, lads, because security is pretty tight. I heard you've had some fantastic success yourself this season. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we had a bit of an up and down season in the league, but 2 cups in the County Cup and the EJ Cup. We won the EJ Cup last Sunday, 2-0, which was a massive achievement for us and really helped our season a lot. And in the other cup, we went out to Grays in the semi-final, which was unfortunate. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty decent season.
Fantastic. And obviously, have a wonderful summer. Go again next season, but going to really enjoy today. What's your predictions for the game?
Today, I'm reckoning it's going to be a good 2-1 here, good 2-1 win for the Wakering.
Come on then, let's see you celebrate.
Come on! Wakering are massive everywhere they go! Wakering are massive everywhere they go! Everywhere they go!
Inside the stadium now, and we are not far away from kick-off. But before the games do proceed, we need to find out just how important non-league finals day is. So we've enlisted the help of some experts. I'm delighted to have Tim and Phil alongside me. I mean, what a fitting occasion. Wembley Stadium in the sunshine. Before we get on to today's finals, tell us a bit about yourselves and your roles within the non-league game.
About myself, I've been involved with Hayton Yedding United Football Club for 26 seasons now. Been presenting the non-league football show that's been running for 19 years as a podcast. Worked as part of the club's programme with the FA as a club consultant. And non-league's just so important to my life, really, and everybody else that's here today.
Tim, you are like Mr. Non-League, but alongside you, Phil, you're like an encyclopedia of non-league knowledge. Tell us a bit about what you do and your passion for the non-league game.
It's not all in my head, so you need to know that much. But I run a few blogs and Twitter accounts. Started off about 10 years ago with FA Cup Fact File, focusing a lot on the non-league level because there was no focus on that at the time. And then I've now expanded that into an FA Vase Fact File, and we'll be coming out with a FA Trophy fact file, hopefully for next season. So I sort of represent coverage of all the non-league clubs whilst they're competing in these 3 national competitions.
Across both competitions, there's close to 1,000 teams that are taking part. And we've ended up with an all Essex affair. So can you give us a bit of an insight into what we can expect from today's game?
Well, it's very unusual to have 2 clubs from the same league in the finals. It's only happened 4 times before, and the 2 teams will know each other very well. So there may be a bit of caginess at the start, but once they get going, I think it's going to be a fantastic game, and wonderful for the county of Essex to have 2 teams in there. And a little bit of history is that whenever Essex teams have been in the final, they've always won. So that's going to continue this time around as well.
It's such a great occasion for Essex, the county of Essex, to have 2 teams here. Focusing on the FA Trophy final, an all-national league affair, which you might expect, between Solihull Moors and Gateshead, 2 teams that had fantastic campaigns, Tim. How do you see this match unfolding?
Again, it's going to be so tight. You've got Gateshead, who were the losing finalists last year just by a single goal. They've obviously got a lot to prove. Also missed out on the playoffs because of, I guess, an administrative issue at the end of the season. Solihull Moors got all the way to the final last week for the playoffs to go up into the EFL. Lost out there. So I guess it's all going to be about mindset, really, as to which side is focused most to get the most out of today's game. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. It's a while since they certainly Gateshead played their last game. We all know about the Wembley turf and how big the pitch is and how that zaps you. So they are 2 sides that will like to play football. Two managers that want to get the ball on the ground, want to get the passing game going. So it should be a really exciting game.
And aside from on the pitch, we've had the joy of meeting some of the fans that were coming in earlier. What is it about the non-league game that's making it grow in popularity and getting these fans behind the teams?
I think we've seen through initiatives like Non-League Day in recent years, and particularly this year again, we had bigger crowds on Non-League Day in March. People are sort of grabbing hold of non-league again, like the old traditional football that we knew at the high level. We've been mixing with the fans, we've been mixing with the players have been mixing with the fans. You don't get that at the high levels now. Even in the lower levels of the EFL, you can literally have conversations with the match officials. You get to know the chairman. It's like the family of non-league that we talk about week in, week out on our show all comes together on a day like this. And I think today is another celebration of non-league and the people involved with it. You've got 2 Essex sides, obviously, in the Vase final. Lots of people that know one another. Lots of people that are friends that are on the oppositions. You've got players that play for one club that are playing for the other, or like the Great Wakering assistant manager scored on his debut after 2 minutes for Romford when he was a player. He's going to want Great Wakering to win today, but it is that. It's more real, I think. I think that's the best way of explaining it.
The stories are incredible. You don't have to dig too deep for looking in the history books and previewing today's game. I don't think there really is a football pyramid elsewhere in the world quite as special as the English football pyramid. And what is so important about Non-Leagues Day, of course, is we're celebrating the 4 finalists, but it's an occasion to celebrate the pyramid as a whole. And it's just so unique, and it needs to be protected at all costs, I feel.
Oh, it does indeed, yeah. I mean, the non-league world is what I would call traditional football. It's what I grew up with when I was a young lad getting to local clubs. And players have to believe that they've got opportunities to grow in the game. And we've seen clubs be promoted and players go through. And many people that have appeared in past FA Vase and FA Trophy finals have gone on to play for league clubs and have good long careers. And so this is a great platform for people to learn their trade, but to really, I would say, really enjoy what the game is all about. And the FA Vase final is fantastic because every year it's different clubs. And so every year you've got different sets of fans who are going to experience a wonderful day out, and it gets shared among the whole of the non-league world. Whereas in the FA Cup and other top competitions, the same half-a-dozen clubs all the time. So, it's fantastic for everyone, from supporters, for those in the back room doing the volunteering, for the coaches and for the chairman and the players especially. The whole thing is just a wonderful experience.
It's interesting you touch on that impact there. And win or lose today, whatever the outcome for each of these teams, what do you see the lasting impact on their local communities being?
The communities will remember this day forever. win or lose. I mean, I know like Solihull Moors lost last week in the playoff final, but those will be back again today, hoping for another day, another special occasion. And if you win, all of last week will be forgotten about, and this will be a day that they'll remember forever. So Gateshead have a similar thing. They lost last year. They might want to try and forget that, but if you win today, they'll definitely forget all that, and today will be all it's all about. And so with beautiful sunshine, how can it not be a memorable day, whatever happens?
And do you think as well, Tim, that there's an opportunity for these clubs to use it to build their sustainability moving forwards?
I think when you get to the semi-finals of either one of these national competitions, clubs have to learn so quickly to put a big game on. For these clubs, the semi-final at home in the FA Vase, there were a two-legged affair. That would have been the biggest game of their season. This will be the biggest game of the season. There's merchandise, there's new kits, there's training kits, and there's the ability of grabbing these fans that are here today. You've got, certainly for the Vase, we've probably got 3,000 from each of the clubs that maybe would struggle to get 200 people there at their home games normally. So they've got an opportunity now to grab those people and build that self-sustainability into their football club.
The teams are walking out. It's a hot day already, but the flames going up as well. It's adding to the atmosphere. Quick question, because I know you want to watch all the action. Your favourite thing about the non-league game?
Favourite thing is the people. It is the family. We talk about the family of non-league. There's lots of managers, players that I've met at these games and other league games as well, but particularly these games that I'm still in contact with that have gone on to play all the way up to the Premier League or be involved in the Premier League or be involved overseas. And they're the sort of people that will be in contact with me tomorrow to ask how the game went today.
Phil, the one thing you love most?
I love the fact that I can go to any non-league ground. I don't have to book my idea of going. I just turn up. And when I get there, the welcome is always so warm and people are so keen to talk to you about their club and they're so enthused about how everything is working for the club and the community. And I just love that feeling of optimism with them all the time, even though it's so hard to run a non-league club. They just see the game and they just want it to work, they want it to win. And I just love that positivity that comes through.
Amazing. Tim, Phil, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I'll let you get ready in your seats, ready to watch the game.
Thank you very much.
So whilst the first game is still taking place, we've got the pleasure of welcoming both Becci and Adam to the podcast from Solihull Moors. Becci, I've had the pleasure of speaking to you numerous times and understanding and appreciating just the work that you do beyond the pitch. So for those that are tuning in first time listening, can you just tell us a little bit about Solihull Moors, their journey, the foundation, and the part you play?
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of the foundation. So the foundation was set up in 2019 and we built upon the things that we've been doing already. So we did a lot in disability sports and then it was a case of us thinking a bit differently. How could we use sport but to reach out to our wider community? So we've grown. So we've using football and sports as the medium, but at the moment we're supporting 2,568 people. So our youngest is 4 and our oldest is 103. So we do things from the traditional football to chair exercise, to health and wellbeing, feeding programs. And I suppose our mandate is we look where there's a need and then we sit and say, well, as a football foundation, how can we meet that need? And it's great because we see different people and it's a wider audience that we're capturing.
And obviously the community element is fantastic and massive. And when we look at the first team, obviously to be at Wembley twice in the space of a week, how fantastic is that? And how does that make everyone as part of that foundation feel?
Do you know what? It's been brilliant and we've had great press on the pitch and off the pitch, but I think more for us, it's been about actually it's attainable for all of our community, regardless of your background, regardless of where you've come from. I think a day like today that is affordable football and for a non-league team to come to Wembley, it's a dream, isn't it? And for us, seeing fans from a variety of different backgrounds coming to Wembley, and especially like I've got Adam here who's part of the foundation and has benefited from it, for him to come here today and to feel close to the players, close to staff, close to fans, it's fantastic.
So Adam, when you're at Solihull, what's your favourite thing to do?
I help in holiday camps and I teach the kids how to learn play a ball
Do you do any of the coaching?
Yes, I do help be a coach, and I play a good job being a coach. I do really good.
And do you still get to play the football yourself?
Yes, I do play football. I play football on Friday night.
Fantastic. So Becci, obviously Adam's one of 2,500 people that you help and support and give opportunities to. Being at Wembley, like I say, in twice in the space of a week, how does that visibility and being here help with the day-to-day back at the club?
I think the most obvious thing, there's that people recognition, there's actually people have heard about us, but also it gives us a chance to show that we have a strapline, we're more than football. And for us, it just gives us a bit of a marketing place where actually businesses hear about us, they want to promote us, and with everything at this level of football is the challenge around funding. So to have businesses that will support us as part of their CSR and branding, but also people who just want to come get involved, and also as on the pitch, our fan base grows as more people want to come and get involved.
And it certainly is growing, and obviously days like today is going to really help that. And I really want you to get back to enjoying today, because obviously kick-off's fast approaching for yourself. So one final question would be, for the clubs out there that are looking for that little bit of inspiration but are very much set up for on the pitch, how would you advise them to get started with that off-the-pitch stuff that you do so well?
I would say, for me, it's about talking to people. It's about looking at your community and saying, where are those gaps and how can we help? And from there, the rest will follow. Partnerships and seeing what's out there.
Listening to your community, knowing
That's
what's
right.
on your doorstep.
It's key.
Yeah, brilliant. Becci, Adam, thanks ever so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Good luck in the game this afternoon. Let's hope for
see.
the right
Do you
result.
reckon, are we going to win?
We will.
Come on, Solihull.
Come on, Solomons.
Now, we have come inside to the press room. This is where all the match reports and all the interviews are filed as soon as the full-time whistle blows. And the full-time whistle has blown on the contest in the FA Vase. So we are so pleased to grab two of the busiest men in the stadium alongside the players. And that is Matt from the non-league paper and Mark, who's a reporter who covers lots of football in the North East. But today, we're loaning you in to get the intel on Gateshead, because we've got the FA Trophy final coming up, which is very, very exciting. But first things first, you guys cover non-league football week in, week out. Today feels like a real celebration of this very special part of the football pyramid. Tell us why you love reporting on it to the extent that you do.
Yeah, I think it's the realness of the game, and being part of it. And I think that's what the appeal of non-league is for so many fans and people involved. You feel like you really matter and you're part of something, and to be able to tell those stories of everyone down the years and all the people coming here today. I interviewed the Romford chairman in the build up, and he comes to non-league finals non-league finals day every year, and he's kind of saying, this year I get to go in a different entrance and I'm wearing my suit rather than just coming in and being in the stand. So it's the community, the sort of the togetherness and I think non-league, the real heartbeat of football in this country, and that's why I love it.
Mark, you're nodding away. There are those sentiments that you share.
Yeah, I think it's a closeness. It's there is a distance at the top end of the game now. I think that's just naturally occurred over the last 20 years, where players and managers have sort of been taken away from the match-going supporter. But at non-league, it sounds horribly stereotypical to say it, but you can speak to the chairman after the game, you can speak to the players, you can have a pint with them, whatever, and give your thoughts, and most of the time they'll take it. But I think it is. It's that closeness. It's kind of how football used to be when I started getting into it many moons ago. But I think that's my favourite part of it. It's just that closeness, a familiarity as well.
With the officials that are obviously here, like you say, the chair people that have obviously come in a different entrance and stuff today, even them individuals themselves, although their teams are about to go battle out for 90 minutes on the pitch, they've got really good relationships with yourselves and all the other people in and around the non-league circuit. What does that mean for this bit of the game in terms of keeping that cohesive connection going?
Well, I think everyone's fighting the same battles. And, you look over the last sort of 5 years when we've had COVID and things like that, the financial impact on every club has been severe. The practical impact on every club has been severe. And everyone is just fighting those same battles. Yes, there are clubs who've got more money, more finance behind them. But at the end of the day, they're all trying to pay bills and they're all trying to progress. So they are. It's that togetherness again, I suppose, is shown in that.
Matt, the non-league paper plays such an important function in keeping the whole country connected with the non-league game, all of the stories week in, week out. I just wondered, do you feel the sense that perhaps we feel, and why we're here today, that the non-league game is going through a resurgence? The popularity seems to be growing, the interest is peaked. And if you do think that, why do you think that is?
Yeah, 100%. I think we particularly, as Mark was just saying there, COVID, it was a time where everyone really came together, but it also led to a real boom for non-league football with... there was that period of where people couldn't go to sort of games higher up the pyramid, but they could go to their local non-league club, and they, many people probably discovered that they had a non-league team, 5 minutes from their doorstep, if that, and they could go down and watch and again feel that they mattered and they were part of something. And I think that was that's been really huge. And I think generally, that it's sort of that understanding that you do have your local club and you can still sort of support your Premier League club, but you are so much closer to it, and as Mark's saying, you get to speak to the players in the bar afterwards, and everyone's kind of together and doing it for the love of it, and that's kind of why we're all into football in the first place, isn't it? Because we love it so much.
So the trophy is obviously Gateshead, Solihull. Gateshead narrowly missing out last year to Halifax. Yeah. Looking at the fans and those that came down on that day last year, what did that sort of mean throughout this season in terms of, was there growth? Has it really strengthened Gateshead's following? And then what does it mean then from today to go again?
It's quite a strange one looking back at last year, because it wasn't really a true reflection of Gateshead on the pitch anyway. They had a lot of injuries, had a lot of cup-tied players. So they didn't really do themselves justice, and the players have admitted that this week in the build-up to this year's final. But it did sense a determination to get back. I think there's a video put out on social media, Greg Ollie, the club captain, at the end of last year's final, saying we'll be back, and obviously sure they are. And I mean, you could sense it through every trophy game, the belief growing, we can do this, they can do this. And you sensed it first half of the semi-final against Macclesfield. You could see that they really knew this, it's on, it's really on. You look at the club, the journey it's been on the last 6 years, saved from going out of existence by the fans themselves. So there's that, again, we keep going back to togetherness. That's probably with Gateshead shown more than any other club, I think, because it is the fans that have rescued it. It's the fans that got the club back into the National League and won the National League North. They guided the club to that. And they are where they are now, which, despite recent events with the playoffs and that disappointment, they're in a strong position. They're probably in the strongest position they've been for over a decade, which is the first time they came here in the promotion final, which they missed out on. So hopefully, from a North East point of view, it's third time lucky today.
The National League seems to be getting more competitive, stronger and stronger season upon season. Let's talk about Solihull Moors, because not many football clubs get to play at Wembley. Very, very few get to come twice in less than a week. They missed out on promotion in the EFL to FA Trophy winners a couple of seasons ago, Bromley. So again, it shows if you get to this stage of the competition, it often leads to successful things moving forward. What do you think, or how do you think Solihull Moors are going to show up today? Because it must be mentally and physically so draining.
Yeah, I think that's the big question. You sort of, I was here last Sunday, and you see the glory and the good sort of side for Bromley, but you can't help but feel for Solihull and the management and the players there, because they've all gone through the same thing that the Bromley guys have gone through. They've just fallen on the wrong side of a penalty shootout. So it's going to be interesting. It's not often happened like this where a team comes back so quickly within that time. And I imagine it has been a really difficult week for them, because promotion was their ultimate goal. Perhaps it's quite a nice one where they can come and say, right, let's get that out of our system straight away and come back and really enjoy playing on this in this beautiful stadium that's so iconic, and obviously try and get the win this time. It'd be fascinating.
And In the Box exists for us to try and obviously get stories and messages out there, particularly a day like today around the non-league circuit. Just to finish with, what sort of final message from each year would it be? Because what we've seen coming down Wembley Way today was a lot younger of a generation of fans supporting non-league and families turning up. We know it's an affordable place to go to really enjoy some fantastic football at the different levels within the pyramid. And obviously the paper, traditionally being a paper, but stepping into social media, what would the message be to say, come down, support non-league, other than what I've just said?
I think as we've just all been saying, there's kind of the same themes, and I really do believe it is the heartbeat of football in this country, because this is where the real stories are, people putting in hours and hours of work unpaid because they love the game. And I'd say come be a part of it. I think people will be amazed how good the football is, how competitive it is, and also how they go away feeling after that they actually were important, that they mattered when they came through the stadium. I think that's massive.
I think don't go in with any preconceptions. There's the stereotypical view in non-league is that clubs tend to play the similar sort of football. It's long ball, but I think you've probably seen this trophy final. Hopefully, both sides tend to play an attractive style. It is very much sort of influenced by what's at the top end of the game. They try and pass out. They try and play it properly. And just go and enjoy it more than anything. It is, relish that togetherness, relish that spirit of togetherness, and yeah, just enjoy it.
Like you said at the very start, there are so many fascinating, magical stories across non-league. We'll let you go because you have another game to prepare for now. But just wanted to say thank you for what you do, because I think the coverage is so important to elevate in non-league where it deserves to be. So thank you again, and enjoy the FA Trophy final.
Thank you.
Well, that's just about all we've got time for today here at Wembley. What an amazing day we've had, and what brilliant people we've spent time talking to.
A massive congratulations to Romford and to Gateshead, winners of the FA Vase and FA Trophy for the 2023-24 seasons. Commiserations to Great Wakering Rovers and to Solihull Moors as well. But we can't help but feel that for all four clubs, being a part of today means that you go home a winner.
And as always, if you've liked this video, please go and like and subscribe to this on the League and Club Hub on YouTube. You've heard it from the people that we spoke to today. Football at this level is all about togetherness, the fans, the community, and the people that it means the most to.
So until next time, goodbye.